Hi, my name is Julie Stevens, and in this presentation, I will discuss a recent market research survey comparing total sugars in different yogurt types available in Australian supermarkets. Reducing the consumption of added sugars is a public health priority, as excess sugar consumption is associated with obesity and tooth decay, and obesity is a current health issue that increases the risk of developing diet-related diseases and contributes to the burden of disease. To reduce these risks, the World Health Organization recommends free sugars not to exceed 10% of the daily kilojoule intake. Packaged convenience foods are often high in added sugars. However, busy Australians are becoming increasingly reliant on them. Therefore, it is important to identify healthy options. Many papers analyse the negative impact of sugars in packaged, ultra-processed foods and sugar-sweetened beverages, as they contribute a higher proportion of dietary sugars. However, there is a lack of up-to-date literature on current nutritional composition of nutritious core foods, such as yogurts, and how they contribute to an individual's overall sugar consumption. One Australian study performed on yogurts between 2005 and 2008 found an overall decline in yogurt healthfulness. However, this survey was performed at only one major supermarket in Melbourne, which increases the risk of bias and decreases the generalisability, as the sample may not represent the whole market. A 2020 UK study performed across 5 major supermarkets found a 13% sugar reduction in yogurt products between 2016 and 2019. However, this may not be generalisable to the Australian market and also included fromage fras and dairy desserts, which have a different nutritional composition to standard yogurts. Yogurt is a nutritious core food recommended in the Australian dietary guidelines. However, there is no upper limit for total sugars, and some yogurts contain sugars higher than discretionary products but are still regarded as nutritious. While unflavoured yogurts are usually low in sugar, flavoured yogurts are often higher in sugar. However, with recent advances in technology, some flavoured yogurts have lower total sugars than unflavoured yogurts, but it is not reflected in the literature. There is a large gap in research on the current nutritional composition of yogurts available in Australian supermarkets within Australia and how sugars compare between different yogurt types. The aim of this market research is to fill the gap in the literature by providing a comparison of sugar contents between yogurt types available in the 2 major supermarkets within Australia and assessing their key nutrient values. The study design used for this survey was a single variable, non-experimental quantitative study analysing nutritional data of specific yogurt types and was performed between March and April 2023. A complete search of all standard dairy yogurts from Coles and Woolworths websites in Australia was performed by a single student researcher as part of a La Trobe University project. To limit bias, the researcher sought advice from a project supervisor. Yogurts were defined according to standard 2.5.3 of the Australian New Zealand Food Standards Code. The initial search resulted in 398 yogurts, with 31 exclusions and 67 duplicates being removed, resulting in a final database of 300 yogurts. Yogurt types were guided by previous literature and were classed as Greek, stirred, pot-set or lactose-free. Energy, protein, fat, carbohydrates, sugar and sodium was collected per serve and per 100 grams, as well as flavour, target audience, package type and size, health star rating and detailed information on nutrient claims. To be included in this study, yogurts were required to be liquid, ready-made dairy yogurts currently available at Coles and Woolworths. Other exclusions included dairy milk alternatives, powdered, dried, frozen and drinking yogurts, and those packaged with additional foods besides fruit, as these misrepresent the nutritional information of standard yogurts. Ethics approval is only required for research involving human subjects, therefore was not required for this survey. When performing data analysis, descriptive and inferential statistics was performed with SPSS. Normality of data was assessed using the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, and all continuous data was not normally distributed, so the Kruskal-Wallis test and the Mann-Whitney U test were used for statistical analysis. The probability of significant data is indicated at p equals less than 0.05. The final database used for statistics was 300 products. A summary of results can be seen here in Table 1, and the key results are as follows. Majority of yogurts were stirred, while 32% were Greek, pot-set or both. 70.7% of yogurts came in a tub. Full-fat yogurts represented 52.3% of the samples. 86.3% were flavoured, 78% were classified as adult yogurts, and over 90% of yogurts had some form of nutritional claim. The median energy per 100 grams was 365 kilojoules. When looking at the sugars within the yogurts, the majority of yogurts had added sugars. The median total sugar content of all samples was 8.55%, and the maximum total sugars was 17%, as outlined here in Figure 1. When looking at the median total sugars per 100 grams in flavoured and unflavoured yogurts, it was 9.1 grams and 5.2 grams respectively. There is a statistically significant difference in median sugars between yogurt types, which can be seen here in Figure 2A, and between flavoured and unflavoured yogurts, which can be seen here in Figure 2B. This will be discussed further in the final report. This study outlines the updated nutritional data of yogurts in Australia with further analysis of sugars between yogurt types. The median sugar values of all yogurts in the survey is 8.55%, which is lower than previous literature. A downward trend in total sugars can be seen, which is a positive result for consumers and may be due to the rising health consciousness and consumer demand or to improvements in food technologies. In regards to sugars between yogurt types, there is a statistically significant difference in total sugars, which is supported by the 2020 UK study. A variety of yogurts with differing sugar levels can provide a variety for consumers and are all currently classed as nutritious. Sweetened yogurts can be more palatable and consumed by individuals who would otherwise not consume yogurts, resulting in health benefits. However, the maximum total sugar value in one yogurt sample was 17%, which is higher than some discretionary products. Regulations of sugar limits within yogurts may be considered to maintain the healthfulness of this nutritious food. Strengths of this survey include the data being collected online from both major supermarkets in Australia, which increases the sample size of available yogurts, providing more accurate data and also increases the generalisability within Australia. Limitations include the lack of data verification by additional researchers due to limited time, which would have reduced the risk of errors. Also, contacting brands directly would have ensured more accurate and less missing data. Restriction of the data to yogurts in Australia limits the generalisability to the broader global market. The results of this research provides professionals and consumers with updated information on nutritional differences in yogurts. Professionals may choose to promote low-fat, low-sugar flavoured options alongside natural varieties as more palatable, low-sugar options become available on supermarket shelves. This may be achieved through educational posters or social media posts outlining the differences in sugars between yogurts. A review of sugar limits within standard yogurts may be considered by policymakers to maintain the healthfulness of this nutritional food and assist consumers to reduce their added sugars. To build on this study, researchers may consider a mixed methods study to research the consumption of yogurt within the Australian population to better understand the reasonings behind their yogurt choices and also measure nutritional understandings and misconceptions.